Hello everybody, Griver84 here, back with another video for you guys, and today I'm actually going to be talking about my top 10 favorite mods to use while I play DST. Now, I do want a disclaimer, this is as of April 19th, 2021, so if you catch this in the future, of course things might change. New mods might come out, some might depreciate, and I also want to point out that these mods are in no particular order. There will also be a link down in the description to my mod collection on Steam if you want to catch any of these mods for your own gameplay. So, the first thing that we're going to start off with here is actually the mod called Adshovel. I have used this pretty much continuously since I found it years ago. And what it does, excuse me, is it allows for the player to actually dig up some extra entities that don't normally allow you to dig. So I actually have an example here of everything that I could find. You have red, blue, and green mushrooms. Normally when you dig these up, they give you 2 mushrooms of that type. But with this mod, it will allow you to actually migrate those mushrooms into your base. You can also dig up reeds, cave lichen, mysterious plants, the cactus from either one of the deserts, the cave banana trees from underground. And the most often question I get while using these is actually, Graver, how did you get those light flowers on the surface? And this is the mod that allows me to do that. So we'll start off with that. The next mod that I want to point out here is, of course, Automatic Health Adjust. Now, we have just a standard Clockwork Knight here. Excuse me. The Clockwork Knight normally has a grand total of 900 HP. But because I have Automatic Health Adjust on, or active on this server, and I'm the only player on it, as you can see here, it has normalized the health to effectively what it is in Solo Don't Starve, which is 300 HP. Now, this mod is customizable. You can change any specific mod's health to values that you want. So let's say if you want Bearger at full health, but you want everything else at reduced, you can certainly do that with this mod. And you can customize your experience and your difficulty while you play here. Now, the next mod I want to talk about is more of a passive, comprehensive mod here. Go ahead and equip my module so I can see at night. But it is called Insight here. And Insight gives you all sorts of information, whether it be about how often your hound attacks are coming, when the next rain should happen, boss timers, things like that. How many days till your beard will improve if you happen to be a player with a beard. It also will do things like, for example, we'll just put some random cooked foods in my inventory here so you guys can kind of see what this is about. If you mouse over them, I have my insight set to not give me information immediately. But if I hold down left alt key, it will tell me how much hunger, sanity, and health I will get. It'll tell me how long until the food is stale. And it'll tell me any additional effects. So, for example, turkey dinner will give you plus 36 to your temperature for 10 seconds. Now, it doesn't do that for all the foods. Like, I know mushy cake here prevents you from sleeping for a certain amount of time. Of course, taffy gives you the sanity boost, and of course, Voltgoed Schadenfreude will give you the electrical damage for a certain time period. So it doesn't give everything, but it gives a whole lot of information, including, for example, here on the TAM, it'll tell you how long in-game time or in game segments you have remaining on durability. Obviously, the sanity effect there, it works the same for armor. So, for example, here, tells you how much protection you get from a log suit, how many seconds of fuel in the fire, and how much waterproofness you get in a football helmet, for example, as well. How many uses you get out of a shovel, how many uses you get out of a lazy explorer. It'll tell you on certain things, like for example trees, if I got one nearby here. It'll tell you when the next stage is going to happen as well. It will spawn a rabbit in, that much time for rabbit holes. And so basically, if you ever have any questions about the game, this is a really good mod to run in the background for you to have that information in the game and not necessarily have to constantly look at the wiki. So from there, my next mod, this is going to be number 4, is Simple Health Bar, which you've actually seen a little bit already here. Not only it pops up a health bar over me, the player, but any enemies that I'm fighting. And it's got a customizable thing up here, so I can make the global style circles and hit apply, and it'll change that for the Clockwork Knight. I could make it squares. I could make it, diamonds, stars, for example, if you want that type, if that's easier on you. This would be the basic. And then you can just hide the HP bar itself and have the numeric value as well. But there are a lot of different options that you can do here. Like you could have a claw. That'll just combine everything together there. You can customize your boss and your player HP style, the length, how thick it is, what color. For example, if you would like a white HP bar, you can set everything to white, or a black HP bar, if that works better for you. Oops. There we go. I keep mine on dynamic hostility. Damage displays on, you can turn the animation on and off. A hotkey if you want to open up these options quickly. And so on and so forth. Go ahead and switch it back to my hearts here. So as you can see here, this is something that's nice to have. Gives you a nice visual representation of what you're fighting. It can get a little overwhelming when you are fighting large quantities of enemies. So for example, I'm going to run all the way over here, and we have a Talbert fort, for example. And as you can see, HP bars pop up for every Talbert. So if you have a clump of enemies, it can get a little difficult to differentiate the health bars, but just be aware of that. Okay, so the next one that we have is a mod called Queue Reborn, or Queue RB2. And it is one that a lot of people have seen me use on my streams, and it allows me to basically automate a lot of the actions that I do, so that way, while I'm harvesting grass, for example, I can hold shift, double click on the grass, and obviously you guys can't see it in the YouTube recording here because I don't have my camera on, but I'm actually not, I don't have my hands on the keyboard. And I will often do this while I live stream, so I can sit and talk to you guys, the viewers, in my stream, and still complete tasks in the game. This works for, grass, twigs. If you happen to have a tool in your hand, for example, like an axe, and you shift, double click on some trees, you'll do the same thing. You'll chop down all the trees of that growth level that are nearby. And it does work a little bit better than just your standard player chopping. So it's really good for like dense forest areas where you're trying to clean up a bunch of, trees or grass, or just kind of move things out of the way. Okay, so next on our mods, and this is going to be mod number 6, is a standard mod that a lot of people know, and it's called geometric placement. I believe it is, yep, here we go. Hotkey B, as in boy, For your standard setup here, you can align the axis, default the camera, change the colors, whether you show the placer for, like trees, or whether to snap to the grid while farming till soil, whether to show on the build grid, you can turn it on or off. So for example, I built these chests here with geometric placement on. So as you can see, they align to a singular tile with pretty much perfect spacing, to where if I wanted to, now that I've built these, I could very easily come in with mini signs and place mini signs in front of them, just like this, to mark exactly what I have on the chests. And it's very neat, concise, compact, things like that. It looks really good in a mega base. Now, for those of you who are on console and those that don't run this mod, for example, if I were to turn it off for a second and then I were to try to build, this is probably going to look really bad at first. But I've been building mega bases long enough that I think I can get it pretty close here. You can already tell there's a bit of a difference between the two squares, and I'm sure once I turn the mod back on and we actually look how it aligns on the grid, you'll see how different it is. Like this one's, kind of way off there. So let's go ahead and turn it back on, and you can see here I didn't do too bad, but I started a little bit off my alignment, and then managed to correct it a little bit. You can turn this mod off if you do like a more natural placement of things. Usually I'll turn it off if I'm placing like trees or random objects in a set piece that I'm building for design, so that way it gives it a more natural look. But ways that you can control the mod to kind of make your base look better. So that's geometric placement. Now, the 7th mod here that I want to show off is something that you actually probably haven't even noticed yet while I have been talking. But actually, I have a mod called Snow Tile Disabler that I use. And as you can see here, it is winter. I forcibly changed it with another mod. And you notice there is no snow on the ground. I could even, with another mod here that I'm going to show off here, give us some precipitation. And as you can see, snow is falling, but there's nothing accumulating on the ground, so that I can see my roads, I can see my buildings that I've put together. It allows me to actually build during the wintertime without wondering, am I getting the alignment right, and things like that. This is also something that helps with lag, I feel like. So if you have a bit of lag problems while you're playing with friends on PC, this is a mod that you can run that gets rid of the snow on the ground. So the number 8 mod, you've seen pop up a couple of times here. It is opened up with hotkey T as in Tom, is called Too Many Items Plus. Now, this mod is basically your one-stop shop for any type of console commands here. You can turn God mode on and off for yourself. You can turn creative mode on and off for yourself. You can control the levels of Abigail if you play in Wendy, your Woody's transformation and wear meter, blooming state of Wormwood, inspiration for Wigfrid, because we all know there are Wigfrid players out there. You can control your hunger, your sanity. So like, for example, if I want to go insane, I hit control and click on the sanity enlightenment key, drops it down to 0. If I click it again, it immediately puts it back up to 100% there. And as you can see, there is a bit of a shadow in the background. We'll just kind of get him to go away here. This will be a perfect thing to show off one-hit kill mode, for example. And now, of course, he's going to go away. So, we'll just do a hound. So if I want to spawn a hound, I click hound. It gets me a hound. One hit kill mode. Instant death for it. If you want to turn yourself invisible, you can. If you want to drop your inventory, if you want to empty your backpack. The debug menu, this is what it normally opens up like. If you want to see the debug menu, just click on this. This allows you to change what season it is, how much time you want to progress. Do you want to set the world run speed to faster? You can set your run speed to different speeds. You can create lightning, you can precipitation, no precipitation. So as you see, I'll turn the snow off here. It should stop in just a minute. Yep, see, there it goes. You can kill a player, despawn a player, gather all players to you, unlock a chosen player's tech, add or remove health penalties, extinguish fire around you, fertilize, ripen, harvest, or pick. So, for example, if I walk over here and I go pick, it'll actually pick up anything on the ground around me. So if all of this grass had been on the ground, it would have picked that all up in my inventory. Harvest nearby objects, for example. There's all the grass and twigs. Ripen. Let's see. Apparently that's not working. Fertilizer, ripen. I promise this worked beforehand. That's how I actually got all that to grow. But oh, it's winter. That's why it's not growing. So, while it can do things like ripen, it won't allow you to, you know, like grow grass in the winter, for example. You can spawn yourselves beefalo, recruit nearby followers. The server commands, be very careful. You can save your server, you can shut it down if it's a dedicated server. You can reset the world or regenerate it. This will completely regenerate your map, your caves, set you back to day one. Be very, very careful with this button right here. I have accidentally regenerated a world before doing this. The event stuff here you can ignore. Roll back to different server slots. You can show or temporarily hide the map. You can teleport to the postern, the Pig King, a Celestial Fisher, the Eyebone, so on and so forth. And it's basically got pretty much every item in the game that you can think of here. If you want to try to spawn stuff in, or, you know, just check out different items as a player, you know, you can... let's see something interesting here. Let's spawn in, say, a waxed oversized dragon fruit. And boom, there you go. Waxed dragon fruit. So if you want to decorate your base with giant fruit and do like a creative world, this is the perfect mod for you to do so. You know, and check out all the items in it and just kind of have fun with that. So that is Too Many Items Plus. Number 9 on my mod list is one called the World Settings Picker. This is actually a new one. You open up your server settings here, and it's actually up here in the right-hand corner. That's where it appears. And if you click on this, with the update that came for the quality of life this year, Clay has allowed players to alter settings in their world. So, for example, if I wanted to, you know, let's say you forgot to turn wildfires off, right? And you're like, oh, I need to turn that off during the summer because we had wildfires that, you know, about burn our base down. Well, you can open this mod up, click none, and then hit apply, and it will prevent wildfires from happening. You can change, you know, seasonal starting items. Do you want your Griefer spawn protection on or off? Extra starting resources for players when they log in. Is beefalo mating causing your server problems? You know, you can alter the length of the seasons, or you can even switch things for events. So if I were to go to Winter's Feast here, it says a server restart is required for these settings to take effect. I'll go ahead and hit cancel for the sake of the video, but this is what allows you to change all of those settings in-game without having to log out, find the setting, change it, log back in, have all your friends log back in as well. And then finally, the last mod I wanted to point out here, number 10, is Combined Status. And you've actually seen it up here in the upper right-hand corner this entire time in the mod. I have mine set to show the standard dial, how many days you've survived, you know, daytime, dusk, and nighttime. I have a seasonal clock that I can mouse over that tells me how many days I have left in each season. I have put the stats for hunger, sanity, and health all together here with a numerical value so I can keep track of those. You can also have naughtiness level, world temperature, player temperature, and I think there might be a couple of other settings, but those are the ones that I'm aware of, at least that are important to people. And I kind of started using this mod as a content creator because people would come into my channel and they'd always be like, oh, well, Griver, you know, what season is it? Like, what, you know, you're on day, like, 700 and something, what season is it? And without having to go into a lengthy discussion of why I know what season it is, whether because of day count, seasonal filter, color, etc., etc., I can just point to that and go, oh, well, we're 12 days left in winter. And it makes it for a lot easier explanation. So, with that, though, that is going to be my top 10 mods of DST. So what I ask for you guys in the comments section there is tell me, what are your favorite mods that you like to use? Do you have a specific character mod? Is there a server mod that you're a fan of? Do you play with just client mods? Or are you one of the people that don't actually use mods at all or play on console and haven't been able to experience some of this stuff? So I look forward to your comments down below. Of course, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost up to 400 subscribers here on YouTube. And I am trying to get up my ratio of viewership from subscribers to non-subscribers that actually watch my videos. So please do give me that follow. The closer we get to 1,000, the faster we will be able to apply for YouTube partnership here. So thank you guys for all that support. You can always catch me live on twitch.tv/Griver84. My schedule will be on my Twitch channel, so you can always check it out there. Socials are in the description, and yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. Have a great day, and until next time, GG, my guardians.